Hi, my name is Christina, and this is my video that's going to start off my I don't know if it's going to be a series or how it's going to go, but and it's too bad I was too shy to do this in the beginning to actually show what it's like living with anxiety and like the real life struggles and the real life fears, and so that you could see exactly how, somebody that you might know or yourself, how you might have some of the same symptoms. Okay, so it started on October 28th, 2005. I was at the casino, and I was having a very good day. I mean, I had won a Royal Flush, which I was on the dollar machine, so back then it was $2,000, and so I had won that, and then I had several $100s in my machine, and so anyways, so yeah, it was a good day, and so there should have been no reason for me to be so scared and for my heart to be racing. I hadn't lost my butt and was trying to recoup money or anything like that, like I've done in the past. So anyways, my heart just started beating really fast, and all of a sudden I just got so scared. Like, I can't explain to you except for that I was so scared, and of what I don't know, just scared, like just a scared feeling. So my heart was beating really fast, like I said, and so I decided that I was gonna try to cash in my ticket. Well, they didn't have the cash in ticket machines yet, so I was trying to figure out how I was gonna get to the cashier's cage and cash in my ticket so that I could leave. And but I was scared. I didn't even want to walk, so I was like, oh man, dear Lord, please help me to at least get to the cage so I can get the money and get out of here. So okay, I did that and then got to my car, and the road that leads from there is a two-lane road. So about halfway up that two-lane road, I just couldn't stand it, I mean, like I wanted to run. I wanted to just park my truck and just take off. I wanted to be at a hospital. I wanted to call the ambulance, so that's what I did. So I called to 911, and it was county right there in that area. So they talked me through until they could get me patched through to city. So once that happened, then I was talking to the paramedics, firefighters, paramedics, and dispatch, I guess, all the way until we could find a location where that they could meet me at. So we found a location that I could stop at, and they're waiting for me. So they took my vitals, and so my heart was beating extremely fast, and my blood pressure was pretty high. So then they took me by ambulance to the hospital, and after many hours there, they didn't come up with any diagnosis. So I went home, and I didn't think nothing of it, and maybe a few days or a week went by, and everything seemed fine, so I didn't really think about it. And then I was at work, and all of a sudden my heart started beating really fast again. I was scared. I wanted to leave. I wanted to run out of there, and so, which was at the jail. And so, excuse me. So that you can't do that as a corrections officer. So I ended up taking a leave from there, and just trying to find out what was wrong. Well, I couldn't. So then kept going to work, and or like even sometimes I'd just be driving to work and I would get one, and then I'd call my mom and say, Mom, okay, so now what should I do? Like, I'm really scared. I don't know what to do. And my heart's beating really fast. She'd be, I'll just, call in or whatever. And so I wouldn't even get to work before turning around and going home, so, which the jail was pretty far from my house, actually on the total opposite ends of the city. So anyways, okay, so those attacks kept coming and going. So then, I, ended up, medically resigning from the city, which is a 20-year retirement if you work at the jail or in law enforcement. So I was pretty bugged because I had already been working for the city for quite some time. So I did that, and then I decided that I was going to try to work somewhere else. So I went to work, and I got a job at the casino in the cashier's cage, and wow, same thing. And it was like, man, many times going by ambulance from my work, from the casino to the hospital, and never did they diagnose me. And they kept saying maybe it was my heart, and so I had lots of different tests, heart tests, and different things like that. And so, it was very stressful, and I don't know which way to turn. So then I ended up leaving there and went back to the city, but this time as in transit as a city bus driver. So, wow, that was even more crazy because I can't see that good without my glasses and stuff. So then I was like, and then I was getting panic attacks and anxiety in training while on the bus. So I'm all, oh no, this is not safe for the passengers and or me. So while in training, I ended up resigning from there. So then, before I end up totally not working, so during these times, like when I was like by myself and driving home, or, like just out and about and driving home, I would make sure that I drove on a street where there was a hospital, because that way I could get medical help if I needed it, or I could, I don't know, it was like a peace of mind, like a security blanket. So like if the street had a hospital on it, then I would take that street home, or take that street to the, going the direction that I was going, going there or coming back, or I just wouldn't go to where it was if there wasn't a hospital on the way, and, in close, in a close area, you know what I mean? So it's some serious, it's torture, it's hell. It turned my life upside down. It's like you're not crazy, but you tend to think that you are, because those things just aren't normal, like to always be counting your pulse, to just walk out on your job. And like at the casino, I left a couple of times with like a whole drawer of thousands of dollars that you're not supposed to leave at all, ever, unattended. And I would leave it unattended and go to the security office and have them, of course, they would check my blood pressure right away, and then call the ambulance. And so anyways, so I did that, which was not right, but because you're in a weird state of mind and anxiety, it does that. Your mind's not even functioning common sense wise. So okay, so after that, so one of the days I was driving by a main hospital. It's a teaching hospital here, and I was getting an anxiety attack, and I had not been to that hospital or emergency room yet. So I said, well, I'll just go there because I haven't been there yet. Maybe they're going to tell me something, or they're going to be able to diagnose me, and then I could be back to normal with medications or whatever, So I went to that hospital, and what happened was I was so scared and in the middle of an anxiety attack that I went to where it's patient drop off for the emergency room, and I parked my truck there and went into the emergency room and just left my truck parked there because at that particular hospital they have a parking garage but across a main street, and so you walk across the walk bridge and then down through the hospital to the emergency room. So there was absolutely no way I was going to do that with my heart beating that fast because I didn't want to have a heart attack. And my mind kept like harassing me like that, you know what I mean? So anyways, after a good while, over the loudspeaker they would say, with the owner of a gold Escalade, please move their vehicle. And so like I'm all, oh my gosh. So I just like kept ignoring it. I mean, even though it was making my anxiety way worse because I was feeling that pressure. But there was no way I could move it. I mean, absolutely no way. So then finally, after they were going to tow it, I went up and I'm all that, well, that's my truck, but there's no way I can move it. So, like, I can give you the keys or give somebody the keys and they can move it, but there's no way that I can do that right now. And they refused to do that. So then finally, I got a hold of my dad and my twin sister, and they came down and they parked the truck and whatnot. So anyways, so after like a very short time in the ER, actually in the hallway, because they had so many people there that day, they gave me what I know now as lorazepam, also known as Ativan, and it's a benzo, and that took my panic attack away immediately. So, wow, I was so grateful. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, out of all those months and days that nobody could diagnose me or give me any type of medication to help me or even relieve my mind. And so my mind was driving me crazy. Like, you're like your own mind, and you really are. And I still feel like that even though it's been, 13 years. So anyways, or longer. Well, okay, so anyways, 2005 to 2019, 14 years. Okay, so let's see, where was I at? So, okay, my diagnosis. So then it so happened to be that particular day I had also resigned from the city again, and decided that I was not going to work until they diagnosed me and gave me proper treatment, because this going by ambulance and putting people's lives in dangers was like, for example, like at the jail, like to leave a whole pod of inmates left alone because I wanted to leave because which I couldn't because, you're buzzed in and out. But like at the casino where leaving thousands of dollars for my, at the time, thank God, a good coworker that didn't like steal my money or, and blame it on me. But okay, so I wasn't working then. So it wasn't very long after that. I mean, well, I was always at home, like taking my pulse, taking my blood pressure, and just like scared. And they had me on some other medications, which made my mind like I felt all drugged up all the time. So I didn't really feel like myself, you know what I mean? Well, I wasn't myself for many months or the first few years. So, my then husband, my first husband, there was no way that I could take staying married to him with this anxiety and panic attacks, because he was a very jealous and controlling man, and like he wanted stuff done the way he wanted it, and which was okay when I, felt fine because I was a very independent person. I pretty much ran the whole household, took care of the bills, of course, with his money and mine, took care of the bills, filled the cars with gas. I mean, like, did everything. I ran the house, took care of my daughter. So, and we were doing really well, financially and whatnot. So, so with quitting all forms of work, I just couldn't, all the stress and everything. So anyways, I asked him for a divorce, and he didn't want to give it to me. He fought me and kept wanting to come back for the first several years, but I could not do that. So then that was done, and my sister, she said that I should apply for Social Security. Well, I was living off of PARA, which is the insurance that the city, not the insurance, but the retirement plan that the city offers us. So like at 20 years, and then they'll pitch in a percentage, and then that, and plus our Social Security, and then that together would give us a decent retirement. Well, since I didn't last out the 20 years, I wasn't going to get the help, and I was at the low end of the totem pole for Social Security because I hadn't paid as much in, because they don't take that much out because you're also paying into PARA, you see. So, which that screwed me in the long run, because then I got the low end of the money on the Social Security instead of getting like a decent amount for the money that I made and the hours and whatnot. It didn't work out like that. So, okay, and that's where my first video came in, that, God always comes through. He's always on time. But, okay, so I didn't have to fight for my Social Security or anything. I got approved right away. I got my first check in August of 2006. So, let's see. So, okay, so as the time went on, I was trying to figure out how the heck, like, why did I get this? Like, why? Because I went from a type of person that I love to do spontaneous trips. I mean, I'd pick up and leave and go to Las Vegas just on a whim. Like, I would be thinking about it at work, or hear a song or whatever, and just say, call my friends or my sisters and just say, who wants to go? I'm going tonight after work, and there I'd go. You know what I mean? And so I was always the driver and drove everywhere, California, just anywhere. I mean, you name it. If something was going on and I could get out of work for a certain length of time, I was going. So I went from that type of person, very independent, doing all kinds of things like a regular person, to that, to like being totally dependent on others. So basically what happened, I believe, was that, and this is what I'm trying to warn people for that I run into, is that well, okay, let me stop this video because it's almost at 20 minutes. And so like that was the first stage. And then on the next video I'll talk about what's the word? Like what I believe caused it, and then how I dealt with it. And then if that goes too long, I'll keep them all under 20 minutes. So either, well, at least one more video, maybe two more. And then another one on how, like people that are, like your friends and family, or if you're a friend or family member of somebody that has these same symptoms, that they are real symptoms, and no matter what you tell that person when they're having an attack, it does not matter at the time. I mean, everything could be completely fine and safe, but if that person's in the middle of an attack, it doesn't seem like it, and it doesn't matter what you say to them, because it doesn't matter until their mind can accept can come back from that fight or flight mode and come back into reality, I guess you could say. Nothing's going to change it or help it. So you just have to let it go, like go through the cycle or whatever, however many minutes or whatever it takes. And, and so anyways, my point is, don't get distressed at them, worried, mad, or whatever. Well, worried maybe, but not mad and angry and yelling at them when the person that's having the attack can't help it, number one. And number two is, believe me, it's hurting them worse than it's hurting you. And they're going through way worse than you could ever imagine. And so like you think it's hurting you, like them like always trying to tell you to slow down, stop, watch this, watch that, or whatever, and that they're getting on your nerves. Well, imagine the person that's going through the attack. I mean, it's absolutely, it just drives your mind crazy and you feel crazy. And I mean, you're a prisoner of your own mind. I mean, like, it's just something that's very hard to explain. But anyways, if you have a family member or friend that's, going through these type of things, don't be harsh or hard on them, because honestly, they can't control it. And if they could, they would, because nobody ever, trust me, wants to go through an attack, whichever way they incur them. Like mine was with medical and fear of dying and whatnot. People have different anxiety attacks. But okay, so no matter how safe people told me that it was, it didn't feel safe to me until I came out of the attack. And then, I'll just be back to me, and then I would feel okay. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, so we'll go into that too. But okay, talk to you later.